Welcome to another mobility session today. Today we are focusing on the shoulders. As usual, we'll get started in a nice relaxing position. Just find an empty space on your mat, face up, and allow yourself to take your focus into your breathing. And if you're able to, keeping your breathing through your nose. You want to stimulate that parasympathetic state and get nice and relaxed headspace to allow us to relax our body and get the most out of today's session. So today's session is focused on the shoulders. We'll do a little scan around the shoulders, starting with the head and neck. So as you breathe out, just feel your head sink heavy into the mat. Feel those neck muscles relax, those face muscles, those traps. And with every breath, feel those shoulders sink a little deeper into the mat. Feel those triceps get soft and your biceps, those pecs. Just using your breathing to find another layer of relaxing those muscles every time we breathe. We'll take one more long, slow breath in here, and we'll sigh out that breath, and we'll move into a left side pec release. So grabbing that lacrosse ball, and the easiest option is to go face down. You can get a little more pressure against the wall or an upright. So whatever option is going to work for you. If you're new to it, just try the floor and see how that goes. So the pec is a pretty big muscle group. It tends to carry a lot of tension, tends to carry those shoulders forward, and that tension can get pretty deep into those pecs. So do some digging in there, looking for where you're carrying tension. It could be in close to the armpit, it could be just under the collarbone, it could be around your sternum. Wherever you're carrying tension, let that be your focus. And then once you're there, let your breathing allow your pec to relax as we work our way through. So as your lungs let go of air, let those pecs let go of tension. And we'll just take one more breath here. Long, slow, relaxing exhale. And we'll shift to the opposite side into our back, our lat muscles, sticking with the same shoulder. Still focused on the left side. And your lats are like your wing muscles. So the back side of your ribs, looking for tension in around that big meaty muscle. A lot of times we carry the most tension in close to the armpit. But do some digging in here. Everyone's going to be a little different. Find what area needs attention and let that be your focus. And you can experiment a little bit with the angle, with your arm angle, with the pressure. Just find what feels like the right amount of tension and pressure on that lat to get the release that we need for today to improve that shoulder movement. And when you've found your version of the lat release, you've got your pressure and location, center back on your breath. Take a long, slow inhale, and as you exhale, let that lat get soft. As the lungs let go of air, let that lat let go of tension. And we'll take one more breath here, and we'll sigh out that breath, and we'll take our attention into the triceps, sticking with the same shoulder. So the back side of the upper arm, this also tends to restrict overhead range, so if you keep your elbow up, that tends to give you a better idea of how this is working to free up your overhead range. So just spend the first few seconds here, pan through the muscle, look for where you're carrying tension in the tricep. It might be the lateral head, might be the medial head, whatever needs attention, let yourself focus there. And then once you've found your spot, you found the right stimulus, take your attention back to your breathing, directing that air deep, and those lower ribs expanding, and breathing through the nose. And now as you let go of air, let those triceps let go of tension. And stay in a rhythm with your breath. Keep your attention there. Let your breath calm your mind, and let your mind calm your tricep. One more long, slow, relaxing breath here. And we'll slowly sigh that out. And we'll shift our attention into a traction. So there's a few ways to do this. The most accessible is just the child's pose version. So if you just take a bowing position and lock your left arm into place using your right hand and just gently lean away to get a subtle pull. The stimulus we want is pressure release in around the joint, just to let the articular surfaces glide a little better, reduce some pressure in that joint, free up some space, and allow you to get into new range. Just using your breathing to relax everything around that joint. Take one more breath here and slowly exhale that out. And And we'll grab our PVC pipe and we'll move into a javelin pose. So we should be bent at the hips, like we're throwing the pipe through the floor and feeling for that overhead stretch. Whatever you feel is restricting you, let your attention stay there and use your breathing to let that tissue submit to the stretch. In a few seconds here, we're going to get gently active. So when we get active, imagine gently pressing that pipe through the floor. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Starting nice and easy, gently pressing down of that pipe like you're trying to push it through the floor. Slowly ramping up that tension as we go. And big tension for the last 5, 3, 2, 1, and let's reverse that. Imagine gently squeezing through your posterior delt to pull yourself deeper into the stretch. Slowly ramping up that tension. Big tension to finish up. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out and relax. And sigh that all out. We'll fall back into a passive position. Let that torso fall wherever it falls. Focus on breathing deep. If we get deeper in the pose here, it's by relaxing, not by forcing. Breathing deep in through the belly, in through the nose. Slowly out through the nose. One more quick breath here. Sigh that out. And we'll shift our attention to the opposite side. So back to a pec release or the right side. So back to your mat or your wall or your upright or whatever you have handy and what's going to work for you today. And do some searching through that pec, searching for what needs attention. We're not searching for areas of pain, just areas that feel restricted. And that might be a trigger point, it might be a knot. Might be something that just feels like it's not moving as well as the rest of the tissue. And then once we're there, settle back into your breathing, directing the air deep, slowly exhaling. And as your lungs let go of air, let that right pec let go of tension. Mentally staying in your happy place, letting yourself enjoy this moment, keeping your attention on your breath. Slowly feeling that tension drift away. Now we'll take one more long, deep breath in. Long, slow, relaxing breath out. Then we'll shift our attention into the right lat. So onto your side or slightly face up, searching for that wing muscle, looking for tension. Could be in around the armpit, could be closer to the lower lat, could be closer to the spine. Wherever you notice it most restrictive, just keep your attention there. Experiment with the angle that you're leaning on the ball. And then once you've got that stimulus, centering back on your breathing, directing the air deep, breathing in through the nose, slowly out through the nose. Nice, calm, cool, collective headspace. Letting everything slow down. Just finding peace of mind and letting that lat slowly go to sleep. We'll take one more breath here and we'll sigh out that breath and we'll move into the triceps. So the back part of your upper right arm. And again, while the arm is overhead, that helps us feel out how the tricep allows us or prevents us from moving when we got that arm overhead. So do some digging, experimenting, find your position of restriction. Find the right angle to lean. Again, we don't want pressure so much that there's pain, just that we're relieving that tension and allowing for better movement. And once you've got that stimulus, centering yourself back on your breathing, breathing in through the nose, slowly exhaling through the nose. As you let go of that air, let that tricep let go of tension. Staying in that nice, easy, relaxed headspace. Feeling that tension in that back side of that upper arm just drift away with every breath. One more long, slow, relaxing breath here. Let's sigh out that breath. And let's move into a tractioning on this side. So if you have a band and you know your shoulder traction option with the band option, you can do that. We're just going to demonstrate the child's pose option. So finding a bowing position on the floor. And we're just going to lock your right wrist into place using your left hand and then gently lean in the opposite direction. And we just want a subtle pull, subtle pressure release in the joint. Free up some space to allow us to reduce the friction, get those surfaces gliding a little better. One more breath here. Let's sigh that out. We'll grab those PVC pipes and move into a javelin stretch on the right side. So grab that pipe. Imagine throwing the javelin through the floor, and we get stuck at the floor and then feeling that overhead stretch. Nice relaxed headspace. Feel out where we're most restricted. Keep your attention there and try to use your breath to relax that tissue. In a few seconds, we'll gently get active. So when we get active, gently pressing that pipe into the floor. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy, activating through the lats, slowly ramping up tension, and big tension here for the last 5, 3, 2, 1, and gently reversing. Imagine pulling that shoulder closer to the floor using those posterior delt. Slowly ramping up tension, big tension for the last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Fall back into that passive pose. Let that whole torso fall back to wherever it feels right. Nothing forceful, just nice relaxed headspace. Focusing on your breathing. Allowing that chest to fall wherever it falls. One more long, slow breath in. Long, slow, relaxing breath out. And we'll finish up with some handcuffs. So starting with your hands behind your head, either kneeling, sitting, or standing. And just slowly extending those arms out into a Y, reaching back with those thumbs, and reaching slowly and deliberately behind your head, trying to keep your hands as close together behind your back, working your way down towards your low back, and hands will briefly meet behind your back and then slowly work your way back up. And on the way up, see if we can subtly carve out a little further range. Trying to get those hands as close together as possible. Really making yourself work these last few seconds. And we'll bring those hands back together. And we will call it a day. Hope those shoulders are feeling nice. Hope you guys are in a nice, calm, relaxed headspace. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.